We started out using SafeSend. We had used their signature software before, and that's how we even found out about SafeSend. And we were looking for something to help deliver our 1040s. They were taking a lot of time. You know, there's just the demand of those. We're looking for an easier way to do that. We decided we were just going to do 40 to start with, and it was going so good that we had to call and buy more credits for our 1040s, and we just haven't looked back at all. Well, actually, it was before there was a SafeSend Suite. We started using the signature software before they even had SafeSend. We were one of the earlier adopters, but we only did 1040s initially, mostly because our partners actually signed the e-file forms, hand signed them in the past. And so when we really realized that we didn't have to hand sign them, but they were signed through the tax software, and that by the way we route things, it has their sign off there. So it's another double check that yes, they have signed off on this tax return. We opened it up for the business returns, and we have not looked back. In fact, I'll say this, when the admin team knew I was going to be doing this interview or testimonial today for SafeSend, they said, please tell SafeSend we love them. So when we first implemented the 1040s, it was just our Birmingham office, and it was just me. I was taught how to do it, and then I showed everybody how to use it. And as far as the admin team went, and we just, when the accountants saw that their clients were being able to sign it so much easier and so quickly, we had one turnaround in 5 minutes, and the client, the accountant was like, I'm sending all my SafeSend from now on. And yeah, it was real easy. You guys did, SafeSend does all the training for you to help you implement everything. They make it very easy. They answer your questions. They're there to coach you along the whole time. Yeah, so it's been really great. I will say with implementing, we did implement business returns this past year for the first time this past spring, and that we probably have increased our usage by 78%, and it is going fantastic. We have 3 offices, and so incorporating each of the offices has gone really, really well. Everyone really likes the software, using it. Our admin team basically sends our tax returns, but then our clients, I would say we have 99.9% approval from our clients. They really love it. It's easy to use. It's easy to help them if they have a question. SafeSend, of course, fixes everything. So one of the things that has gone on is we're definitely using it to deliver our tax returns, our business returns. We just went back to delivering our engagement letters through it. So we had some 1040 engagement letters that didn't get signed in January for whatever reason. And so I used the mail merge tool, sent those letters all back out, and I'm getting them all back now. It's like with the deadline looming, they're like going to sign them now. One other nice thing is that if we don't have the letter signed, we can actually deliver it with the actual tax return. So when they sign those e-file forms, they are forced to, they have to sign the letter as well before it will send everything back to us. So that's another nice little tool. It's not a separate thing they have to do. It's all in one place, but we do want them to sign ahead of time. We actually will be going to the full suite after this October 15th deadline. And we are really excited about that. I will say this, with using SafeSend Returns, it would take me, like if I'm doing a paper return and it's just a basic tax return, it can take me 30 minutes to do it, to give envelopes for the client, to do all of that. Or if I was sending it, we were also using ShareFile. If we delivered it through that system, it's still going to take some time because I have to pull it all apart. I probably do tax returns faster than anybody does. I timed myself one time, and I can get it done in 6 to 8 minutes, but it takes about 15 minutes because we really want people to be thoughtfully going through it to make sure we have everything for the client. And myself, I go through it. I take a little bit more methodical about it, just because we want to get things right for the client. But SafeSend pulls it all apart correctly. It's that you have everything you need in 15 minutes, and it's delivered back to the client. It's saving us, that's a lot of time and a lot of money in the long run. I know it's saving 15 minutes on every return, that's for sure. So that saves the client money as well. After the October 15th deadline, we are going to move to the full suite for SafeSend. Several reasons for that. We're already using SafeSend Returns, delivering our tax returns through that. That has been smooth. Our clients really love it. We've switched back to delivering our letters through the system as well. For one thing, it cost us to use it for Adobe Sign, but going through signatures, it doesn't cost you anything with the SafeSend Suite. We're also going to use SafeSend to deliver extensions this year. Instead of me having to take the time to deliver this email and type it all up after I process the extension, I'm part of the extension team. They will, I'll be able to deliver those to the clients through that. And then also we're going to try to deliver some of our organizers through the system. We do have another software we use. We want our clients to use to upload their documents and answer their questions and stuff, but there's some that just won't, and we end up having to securely email it to them. It'll be so much easier to deliver it through SafeSend. The client it's interactive, they can fill it out. Clients can even upload their information there. So that's going to be another thing. So super excited about that. Want to move to Exchange as well. That will replace ShareFile for us. One of the main reasons why is we want our clients to be, anything they're receiving from us is coming through SafeSend. That way, if they have a firewall and they're getting it at their work, they can just say, we need SafeSend to come through, and anything we deliver them, they'll know it's easier. They're going to get it that way rather than them getting it like 5 different ways. It may be a different part of the suite, but at least that return email address that it's being sent to is going to say SafeSend, so they're going to know that that's something that can be trusted. So with SafeSend Returns, as far as our clients go, our business returns, we've been using it, I think, since 2018. I can't remember. We've been using it for quite a while. The SafeSend Returns just for 1040s. Our clients really like it. They can sign from their cell phone. They can sign from an iPad, their computer. They can be they could be on their way on vacation, looking at their tax return, be able to sign everything and just get the e-file forms back to us. And then if it's being paid online, they can click on a link, pay their stuff online, or they can wait till they get home, download their vouchers, and just write a check and mail that in. So they actually really love it. There's on occasion that clients don't read the very simple sentence that tells them the next step. And so if they just read, it's super easy. Sometimes they'll call us, and I've actually been on the telephone, don't even know what the client's seeing. I was like, what does the screen say? And they'll read it to me. I said, okay, do that. And got them through their whole return that way. But I will say we really don't have glitches. If something happens, it's a very rare occasion, but SafeSend support is probably the best support IT team I have ever seen with anything I've ever worked with. They get on it fast. I get a call within 20 minutes. They have some kind of resolution for me. If it's something that's broken, they get it fixed, but they always give me some kind of turnaround time, and we're never down. We just get to keep going. And if it's a glitch, they always have a workaround for me that gets it to the client, and it works fantastic. So this was the first year that we delivered business returns through the software. We will never go back after this. The one beautiful thing about that is it lays out all the K1s for the client. The client can go in there, enter in the email address if they want to, and deliver the K1s to their shareholders or partners through the software. They can also download them and mail them or hand them out as well. But the beautiful thing is it's going to save that email address in there for them for next year. So next year when they go to send their K1s, that email address is going to be in there, and all they have to do if it's not the correct one is go, oh wait, that's not their email address. They can just put a new one in there for them. So the clients are really, really liking that a lot. Financially, I have no idea what the numbers are, but I could expect to work 80-hour weeks on deadline weeks, and I don't come anywhere near that now. Now, the admin team, probably 50 hours max, and I probably come closer to 50 than the rest of them do. So they're probably working 45-hour weeks because of SafeSend. We can't sing their praises enough. I mean, I've done the calls where somebody on the call and I've talked them into going with SafeSend. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it literally is a no-brainer. I mean, just as a company as a whole, one of the things our company strives for is peace of mind, giving our people peace of mind. Or we call it the Disney experience. You know, it's just wow. And just thinking about all those little things. SafeSend, it gives you the Disney experience. They give you peace of mind. They are just they're constantly looking how to make things better. They don't want to roll something out there until it's ready to be rolled out. I really appreciate that. I know the first year we were in it with 1040s, we have an Alabama privilege tax return. So if somebody's a single member LLC, meaning their business rolls up into their 1040, that wasn't recognizing that e-file form, so we would have to paper file. But I talked to them right after tax season that first year in April, or I think I met with Steve Dusselbaum in May. And told them, man, we would really like to have that, being able to recognize that e-file form and stuff. And before we went into mini tax season, extension tax season in the fall, it was set and it was ready and we were rolling with it. So the other thing I can honestly say is, you guys, SafeSend keeps up with the email addresses and stuff with the tax law and where things need to go and where they need to get paid. They really pay close attention to that. In fact, they have it more up to date than even the tax software has. So I've even told my admin team, if the address looks a little different with SafeSend, go with it. They've got it right. In fact, it'll take the client, like one of the email addresses for a client, it looked different we use CCH tax software. It looked different on the transmittal letter, and SafeSend had something different. And so I had contacted him, was like, hey, this looks different. And SafeSend goes, we'll look into it. In the meantime, I went to that website from the transmittal letter. It was telling the client from our tax software, and they had to go 2 places to get to where they needed to pay. Whereas if I use the site that SafeSend sent me to, it sent me right to the exact spot where to pay. So SafeSend keeps up with it. SafeSend also keeps up with the tax law. So, I mean, they, if something can't be signed electronically, they will allow some clients to have that option, but they definitely have it where it's turned off. You have to go in and force it to turn on. And we really appreciate that they care more about the tax law and the accountants and us being compliant rather than just trying to sell us something. So if I'm talking to a friend that works for another accounting firm and they're saying, hey, we're thinking about SafeSend, but it's January, we're just going to wait until, May and look at it, maybe implement it in the fall or anything. And I'm going to tell them they're crazy if they don't do it. To be absolutely honest, I am going to tell them you're crazy because all the headache and the time, because there's not a learning curve using it. Absolutely no learning curve using it. It's very straightforward. It is one of the first softwares I've ever seen that it's a great experience for the client and it's a great experience for the user, like the accounting firm, to use it. A lot of times it's either geared towards the client who's actually getting their tax return and not so much for the accountants, or it's geared towards the accountants, but it's not a good experience for the client. It's basically a win-win for everybody. Really, the only people who are using it is our admin team. So if you just train the admin team to use it, I mean, they're the ones who really see the bigger benefit of it at all. Once it comes to us, it's out the door to the client. The e-file forms come back to us and we e-file it. So it's a done deal. We send reminders. So yeah, I would say it would be, this might be a strong word, it would be foolish not to go to SafeSend. If somebody's looking at and they're thinking, we've already got the tools in place, we've got these softwares we want to use, I would tell them that really SafeSend's the route to go as far as e-signature goes. They knowledge-based authentication, 1040s, it's a law by the IRS that 1040s have to be signed using knowledge-based authentication. And they're really the only software that really has it set up to work correctly in the system. And so you want to follow the letter of the law, and that's what we're doing. With our business returns, they don't require knowledge-based authentication. Of course, everything is secure. It shows you whose email, who signed it. All of that information is in there. But it also doesn't cost you as much as it would cost you if you use an Adobe sign, for example. Like with Adobe sign, we were using them to send our engagement letters the last year or so. And we have to decide up front how many we're going to use and go ahead and pay them. And they don't roll forward. You lose them if you don't use them. And so with SafeSend, you pay for your stuff, you pay for your tax returns. So with Adobe Sign, you had to determine how many you were going to use for the year, and you lose them if you don't use them. Like we were only using it to send our engagement letters and stuff, but you have to know up ahead of time what you're going to send. And we were at one time using for our business, just as a one-off. If we couldn't get one and the client was gone for a business return, we could use them, but we couldn't use them for 1040s. But it would cost us, and if you run out, then you're scrambling to try and get them again. The other thing is, if you have a glitch or a problem with them, you can't even find the person you need to talk to get it fixed. So that's a big problem. With SafeSend, you buy your returns and stuff, they roll over to the next year. Like we had been using it for a while, and price was about to go up a little bit, and so I bought like 2,000 units right off the bat. And you know what? We went to business returns and they're all gone. I've had to buy units 2 more times this year. But it's super easy to do it, and then if I have a problem with anything, you just click the support button and somebody either calls you or emails you in less than 20 minutes. I've never had to wait more than that. I think maybe once I've had to wait an hour, but somebody responds back to me immediately, and they keep trying to work on whatever and it's usually just a weird glitch. Sometimes just the client's email address is wrong, but they'll look at that for you. It is much better to have all your stuff in just a couple of softwares than have like 10 softwares you're having to bounce between and remember what's in what. If it's all housed in SafeSend Suite, then you're working out of one place to do all your stuff. We're super excited about that.